Trust on the beach. Farm fresh. My son and I mowed the grass.
This makes me cry every
I
time.
know,
Yeah,
me
I'm
too.
also a little emotional.
Dad, Charles, I read your book. You read the book? Farming. If that kind of bells.
Yes. Okay, so Bells actually went a different route because if you remember all the other Bells ads, it was the humorous, like the guy on the motorbike that had to come with the fishing, they had to go get the guy with the fishing pole and actually get the keys off the counter by throwing the fly fishing thing in, and at the end it's give that man a bells, or the crates. It was all very humorous, and they actually changed the messaging slightly, but it didn't change. Just the emotion changed. It was about that feeling accomplished and doing something that made everyone go, wow. This was a lot deeper than the other stuff, but same message. Like when you've accomplished something, you deserve to have a bells. Okay, and you only see bell right at the end. Again.
Such a good thing though with this is it's their payoff line at the end.
Yep.
That has now become synonymous with our everyday language.
True.
Everyday somebody
That
will say,
actually entrenched themselves into our
they've done it
lives.
so well. When anybody does something successfully or does something well or like achieve something, like give that man a bells.
It's actually a very valid point.
So clever how they've taken that slogan, and it doesn't matter what the story is. It's that message at the end, is that when you've achieved something, whether it's humorous or emotional, and it all comes down to that one payoff line.
No, that's actually a very valid point because we do that. When someone
I
doesn't do well, no,
apologize.
it's fine.
I'm devastated.
No.
I love this. Thank you.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. We're almost done, so I'm sorry you missed the game.
Girls, good times. Thank you. Thank you. Have a good weekend. Thank you.
We do that. When someone has done something amazing, we do joke and say, give that man a bells. And that took years of marketing. Let me tell you, that didn't happen overnight.
Like with the Google, how you someone to Google something. and
Yes.
Research it or.
Yeah, you don't say, I'm going to search it, you say, I'm going to Google it.
Yeah, I think like also because we're doing at Varsity, we have to be doing something called brand shadow, so we have to do a campaign on Vita Cafe. So we want to try to do that approach that Starbucks has in South Africa. Like you know how Starbucks, it's like I'm gonna go get Starbucks. They might just be getting normal coffee,
Yeah.
but it's become that brand.
Where they've become the striving pinnacle of what you should be. That's seen as the success.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's important. And that I think is also why I chose that video from Casper, because you guys, especially with You Party, you want to be seen as the party place to be. Like Rise Academy needs to portray as the place to go if you want to learn about this, and this. It's got to be the go-to point. That's what it comes down to. What's the measure of success? Okay. Then a funny video, which is a little bit controversial, but I don't think we need to be surprised because it's an interesting ad from a brand that we love. So it's a black guy driving with a whole bunch of white guys on the back.
And now for something else you've never seen before. New from Nando's. 3 delicious plain grilled chicken wings in lemon and herb, mild or hot, very heavy, 3 with selected meals.
See, so random. So random, but Nando's. Because they've been controversial from the word go. They said, what is our tone of voice? What is our personality? And you know when Nando's puts something else, out it's going to be controversial. It's going to be taking a dig at something. That was a dig at apartheid. And when we just changed over to like the new,
But the thing is with Nando's, it's like, are they advertising the, are you going to go buy Nando's chicken?
No, you're not. But you're also not buying Nando's because of the chicken. You're buying Nando's because of the brand.
Yeah.
Because you can get that chicken somewhere else for a lot less. But they've done so well at building their brand that you don't say, I'm going to go get chicken, I'm going to go get Nando's.
I see what you mean. Okay.
It's brand love. They've done it well, and that's through humor. Every time they launch something new, like you just, before you even start watching, you got that face palm moment, because you know where it's going to go. So how do you get to that stage where you go, can you hear me now? You got to have content, context, and relevance. Again, we go back to the J&B Met post. Did they really have to post because Simba passed away? No. He was on his way to the J&B Met when he passed. They didn't have to put a tweet out about it.
Was he like presenting or?
I think he was just a guest there, actually. That's even worse. He wasn't even emceeing or anything. Vic, they felt the need to put out a Women's Day post. I still believe that it was very rushed, that post, and it wasn't very well thought out. But a lot of people post for the sake of posting, which is not the right way. And I know we've got stuck on brands like that as well, where we actually look back and we go, maybe this wasn't our best work. Why wasn't it our best work? Cool, let's change it. It happens. It happens when you put content out and you kind of go, oh, could have done better. Should have done better. Why is your post not getting reach? I can tell you that Facebook's actually changed their whole algorithm, and your content has to be spot on. But we'll get to that in a moment. What emotion? Does it even evoke emotion? When we're doing brands now, we're all about the emotion. It's funny because the one brand had to roll out into 2 different radio stations, and the emotion we were driving on the one station was very different to the emotion on the other station. The one station was all about spending clothes because that's the presenter, and that's the presenter's following. It was all about the instant gratification, and all our messaging was geared at that. Shopping, buying, what's your buying journey, etc., etc. The other one, the presenter's very well respected, and they call him Big Brother. So that was all about family and about trust. Can you see? Same message, completely different emotions. We did the same interview message on both stations on the same day, but our content was completely different. So you gotta find that emotion that you want. You want kids to get excited about building their futures and getting them to the leadership in 5 years where they want to be. That is your pinnacle point here. I promise you that now. If half of our population are under the age of 30 and 42% of them want to run their own businesses in the next 5 years, is that not what you guys are training them to do here? Become DJs, become models, be in television. That's what you guys are doing. So how do you evoke that emotion and get them to go, this is where I need to be? That's your challenge. So your objective is to get them here. The emotion is to say, I want to be that kind of leader. That pride, that give that man a bell's moment. Okay. Think like your audience, which is really difficult when you're speaking to a market that you know nothing about. It's a very difficult market. Because why? Because we're not the market. It's that simple. If you aren't the market, you need to find other ways of understanding the market. And that's a hell of a lot of research. Unfortunately, there's no easy way around it. Either that, or you need to get someone in that is the market and have a brainstorm with them. Pull them in and go, I need your brain. Come sit with me and let's talk. Sorry, no problems. So you need to think like your audience, or you need to find someone who does. It's not always the easiest task, but it's the best thing to do. This is the algorithm I was talking about on Facebook. So, unfortunately, Facebook's been free for many, many years. It only launched, like I said, in South Africa in 2007, but I think Facebook was conceptualized 2 years before that, in 2005, when Mark Zuckerberg launched. He's now come back and said that the organic reach of your page has now come down to 2%. He said there's a 2% organic reach left on Facebook. So unfortunately, this is the way that he's going to make his money back now. Not that he needs it, because he's made his money already, but this is how Facebook's going to make their money back now. So there's two avenues you can take. Spend your money wisely. Put a really good advertising campaign behind your content. Be selective about what content you're advertising because you don't have money to waste. And understand that the audience you guys are targeting probably have a whole lot of other people targeting them at the same time, which means it'll cost you more to get to them.
And you have a limited amount of what you can say on an Facebook.
Exactly.
As well. It's
Just
just
20% text, but that's only on the image, eh?
Yeah.
So, but that's
But
where
with our markets, it has to be in there.
I know, but that's with every market. Don't fool yourself into thinking you can only put text, but I'm saying your copy on the text with the image can be longer, as long as your image has 20% on it. Okay, so you can write in the copy, as long as your image is 20%.
So
Well, we lost share.
how does it work? So what do you mean?
More than that.
How are they going to make it? What do you mean 2% is organic? That everything else you'll have is like sponsored and paid for. How do you
There's only
generate that?
2% organic growth left, and
So
they're trying
aren't you paying, in other words?
They want you to pay. Facebook
So you can't
wants
just
you to-
post your own.
You can, but if you post it,
If you've got like 500 friends, it will go to like 10 of them.
Yeah.
If they like it, it will go to a few more.
Yeah.
If those few more like it, it will reach like that, where the
Shay?
users go to the newsfeed of all.
So that's not even doing it.
accept it? Did you reject it now?
No,
Like,
I
all
accepted.
the couples, people
I was
who
accepting,
do
but it wasn't doing
Ah.
anything. It was hanging.
No,
Can you
no,
see us now?
like, I know with
There.
and Vulture, they don't use Facebook as much as they use their Instagram.
Okay. So basically what it means, and they've changed it, they've tried not to be mean about it. So when you like something, your community sees that you've liked it. If you've commented on something, that never used to be there. Which is a little bit irritating if you think about it, because why do people need to see where you've liked or what you commented on, right?
Yeah.
So that's how they're making up for it. But they're not really, because they want you to spend money.
Yeah.
Obviously, on your own personal profile, you can't spend money, so it's not for your personal Facebook
So
account.
it's like you pay.
It's for pages. It's for company pages. So if you are starting out a new page, the way you're going to grow it is by putting money behind it. There's almost no way that you can organically grow a page these days. Thank you very much, Facebook. And for those of you that did this last year, you'll see how dramatically the organic reach has changed. Because I think we were down to like 30% or something. Now we're down to 2. It's scary. But we've become so dependent on Facebook that they can do it, right? That's what they do.
But I mean, then why don't people just go and use other mediums?
Like what?
Like Instagram?
Instagram is owned by Facebook.
But will they
You can't
get it?
advertise it.
You can.
Instagram
It's-
the same way.
Yeah, not the same way, but there is advertising on Instagram. It's Instagram advertising.
Where?
I think I don't know if they've implemented in South Africa yet. I think that they're bringing it in the next 2 months. But you can advertise on Instagram, like you would on Twitter.
Oh, like just posting and posting.
But I almost think Instagram advertising is going to be very expensive because of hashtagging.
Yeah.
So you're going to have
Oh,
to
yeah,
own a hashtag.
But what people do on Instagram is they target like specific Instagrammers and they give them stuff to give away, but then you have to, like a competition basically, and you have to do certain things to get whatever it is. So I've seen people giving away Canon cameras and giving away all sorts of wine or whatever it is. And so that's how they're getting around it at the moment. So, but that's more brand, product specific, something you can
Yeah.
give away or an experience you can give away. And those Instagrammers are milking it and they're making money out of that. So you still have to pay
So
right now. Yeah.
you can, the other option, So the other one is have a really good advertising plan together, and you have to go, which content am I going to boost, to who am I boosting it to, and why. You have to have a plan. We do advertising strategy plans. Not because we have to for clients, but because we need to know where the money is going and why we're spending it there. And to do testing, so you can see, okay, that didn't work, let's not do that again. Let's try something else. Because you can't boost every single post either. People are going to get sick of your content and you're going to be spamming them and they're just going to block your page. The other option is that you have to have such shit hot content that people want to share it. Like Nando's. They don't spend on advertising. I asked them the last time, the KFC where they had the presidential roundtable thingy that advertised, I can't remember what advert that was. I asked them, how much money did they put behind that? And they said they were so lucky because the one, I think it was Mugabe that was in that, he had such a controversial statement that week in news that they launched that video just after that went out. And that just actually pushed their views. Very clever. Clever placing. So you gotta have shit hot content and you gotta place it properly.
So is placing it properly the answer to when you don't have a budget?
Yep.
A big budget to make a video that could go viral, or I mean, we could boost a post for $10, that's fine. But we don't have a budget to make a video. We don't have
Lots
a
of
budget
people
to
don't.
make an ad or.
So you have to go, what is the trends at the moment? Where should I be? And adapt your content. And that's what's so important to have brainstorms. And go, guys, cool, like we do every Friday we have a news awareness test. Literally. Our editor sets up a test to go, what's happening in the news? You guys should start implementing that, like what's happening in social media. So every week, one person, because it doesn't take you long, it's a 10 to 15 minute test, if that. Every week, one person takes charge and puts together 10 questions. What happened here? What happened there? Because that's your business. It doesn't have to be just social media, because I'm just talking social media because that's what I'm doing. What's happening in the music industry? What's happening in the modeling industry? Take something out of all your pillars and go, what's happened here? What's happened here? What's happened here? What's happened here? Because that will start making you think about the content that you've got planned for the next week. Should I change the content? When Cliff left 5FM, you know, your content could have been back then changed to how you know, how it's going, the world of whatever, music or interviewing or whatever's changing. You know, streaming. It could have been around that. I'm just spitballing here, so don't hold me accountable for the ideas. I'm sucking here. That's how you could have changed your content, because it would have been relevant and people would have shared the crap out of it because it would have been on topic. Could have done a thought leadership piece. But how someone like that inspires your group to do that, to become their own character, to become the person that leads. Is anyone blogging yet? Has anyone taken over the blogging for you guys?
There's a Rise blog, but it's just sort of started. It's got like 14 posts.
But like thought leadership is powerful then. Getting comments from people that would be aspirational. It's very important. Stuff like that. But make sure it's relevant. What's happening at the moment? What's happening in TV? What's happening? I know not that it's relevant to you guys, the news reporter got fired for headbutting his boss. So what could you have done was written a piece about maybe managing your anger, and if you're not happy, change your job before you get fired, kind of thing. See what I mean? Make your content relevant. It's a little bit of thinking, doesn't always happen, but sometimes you have a bright idea, and it's just like, ta-da! And then we've spoken about don't talk to your community, talk with them. Don't tell them they're special, show them. Look what Levi's did. They showed them that they were special. They went out there, built a DIY skate park, had all the guys involved, and then rewarded them for it. Gave them merchandise, made them feel like they were part of something, which is what you guys are ultimately trying to do. You're trying to make them feel like they are part of this journey with